Listen, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex have declared their wish to step back from their current position in the royal family and pursue a more independent life in North America, away from the public spotlight. Carolyn, I get the feeling, as I said to Juliet Reedon from the Women's Weekly just before the break, that this was a result of the battering Meghan took that she couldn't handle, and it's probably linked to Harry's experience with losing his mother because of the same hounding.
Yeah, and that's a pretty reasonable reasonable conclusion. He is a human after all. Look, the way that the paparazzi hounded his mum was just next level, and he was there and he saw it. He was a child, so no doubt there's a bit there for him, you know, the past being dug up, and now for him to see that happen to his wife, I think there's definitely that that wanting to protect your family instinct kicking in. So I can appreciate that. Look, I think, like the Queen said, it's a very complicated issue. I think there's a lot of things that are going to need to be considered here. And look, Harry has been a member of the royal family his entire life, so I don't really know if he knows what it looks like for him on the other side, just like perhaps Meghan didn't know what the royal family would look like for her from the side of not being in the royal family.
It's almost like putting an animal that's been caged in a zoo out into the wild.
Yep. Look, it will be different. I mean, you know, when they say they want to live financially independent, look, it's not like someone's going to send him a link to seek.com and he's going to go out and find a job. Like, I mean, you know, I don't think he's going to do it tough at any time, but it will be a completely different lifestyle to being a member of the royal family, and with all the privileges that go with that, and with all the staff and all those other things which he has grown up with his entire life.
I wonder whether he knows how to open a bank account. I doubt it. Mike, I feel sorry for the Queen here. She's had to deal with Andrew. She's now had to deal with the grandchildren. And before that, of course, she's been pilloried in that final season, that mini-series season of The Queen. She's had a wretched time. The Republicans will no doubt here in Australia set up a press conference in the next couple of days to say we're back on.
I know I didn't want to go straight to my own situation here, but the fact is I took a position, well, a long time ago during the last vote on the Republican, whether we should go Republic. And just latterly, in the last 12 months or so, I keep getting these Twitter repeats from people who are showing me some old graph saying, hey, Australia's ready for a republic. No, it's not even close. But now I'm going to get a whole lot more of those. But as far as the actual situation is concerned, Variety magazine, you know, the Bible of the show business industry in the US, describes the royal family as Britain's biggest non-pro, i.e. non-professional, draw card. Now, it seems to me Meghan just didn't understand the brief, what she was going to be subjected to. You know, Kate, she's the great corporate wife.
Yes.
And
what a contrast.
By contrast, exactly. I'm not, as Caroline says, I'm not unsympathetic to Harry with his history there. But what's he going to do? You know, he's been a prince all his life. What do you put in, you know, LinkedIn, as we said, you know, or in the personals? Prince, fully experienced at princeliness, available now.
He wants to join or create some sort of foundation. Well, charities don't pay too much money, so he's got to be careful about that. Carolyn, the Queensland government has delayed a plan, thankfully, requiring volunteer firefighters to have a blue card before being allowed to battle fires after less than half of all the fires met the deadline for the check. Now, the card is a working with children check. Trust the Queensland government to pick on volunteer firefighters at this time, and in the current environment, it's a bit like picking on Bambi.
Oh, it is peak tone deaf. It is so tone deaf. You know, we have got fires spanning the whole east coast of the country. We've got a few over here in WA as well, and obviously Kangaroo Island, South Australia, a few other places. Everyone has mobilised. We have got foreign firefighters. All hands are on deck, and there is some sook in the Queensland Public Service who wants to bench firefighters because they don't have a working with children card. It is so bubble. It is so unbelievably unreasonable and disrespectful. These people are willing to put their lives in danger. They're willing to put, and you're worried that they haven't ticked a box.
Yeah,
Like, I can't even believe it.
They're running into the fire front. I'm sorry, they're not sitting down with children under a tree somewhere. It doesn't work like that.
Correct.
Mike,
and look.
Sorry, go on, Caroline.
No, and look, they might help someone evacuate, or they might put, you know, kids with their families onto I don't know, an evacuation point or onto a vehicle or something like that. But those kids are very likely to be with their parents.
Exactly.
If they're being evacuated. It's not like they're on their own.